So I've done a couple of these already, Mr. Damiani, where I've sat down with members of the GT staff and discussed the games that they favored this year and the stories they wanted to talk about before we move on to 2015. No one had a sheet of paper, not even Bloodworth.
Wow.
Bloodworth, he might have actually. He might have had his little book, but like you look like you're about to read a book report or like make a very important speech.
I just have a bunch of lists here.
So
I'm not gonna like go into any in-depth stuff. I'm just gonna list.
You're not.
Here.
Oh, okay.
I got names.
Well,
for
this will be
these
short,
lists.
actually.
Yeah, so this will be a lot shorter. So I thought I'd do a little bit differently. So I made up categories. So this is the official, super official Game of the Year Awards 2014 Real Legit Edition. So all the other awards you watch are phonies. So thank you for watching the Real Award show this year. So first up, for the Real Game Awards 2014, in top 10 order, Suikoden 2, I Can Finally Afford It Without a Second Mortgage Edition. Number 9, Final Fantasy 13-2, PC Master Race, Sarah is finally legal, so Snow doesn't have to worry about going to jail, and neither do you edition. Number 8, FTL Advanced Edition, I Love to Die in Millions of Horribly Painful Ways in the Deep, Cold Recesses of Space Edition. By the way, the game is really awesome. Number 7, Final Fantasy 13, PC Master Race, Lightning Must Not Be Forgotten, Durante Fix Edition. Number 6, Resident Evil 4 Ultimate HD PC Master Race, finally in HD, Capcom Spelled It Right Edition. Number 5, Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD Remaster, it's pronounced Titus, so deal with it edition. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix, just try pressing X to win on critical mode, and then tell me it's easy to win, you filthy casuals edition. Number 3, Valkyria Chronicles PC Master Race, if you didn't buy it the first time, and you don't buy it this time, you suck at life edition. Number 2, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, PC Master Race, Get Good Edition. And finally, the real game of the year 2014 is Final Fantasy XIV, Square Enix does what Blizzard doesn't, console gamers exist, I can also marry anyone I want, but I still can't afford a house edition.
Isn't that like life though? Like you can afford the marriage if you just go elope somewhere, but you can't get a house.
So the top 5 games that actually came out in 2014 that I think originally came out in 2014, not any re-releases, that I actually think were the best games, in no particular order. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Bayonetta 2, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, South Park The Stick of Truth, and Mario Kart 8. So I thought those are the best games. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, proved upon an already amazing platformer. I know people are butthurt that Retro didn't make a new Metroid game yet. They're probably working on it, so be patient. But Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is a freaking phenomenal platforming game. Bayonetta 2, as we said in GT time, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It has 9th generation level of gameplay. It is an amazing character action game. I dare say it might be better than Revengeance, so that should tell you something. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, I love these types of puzzle games, and yes, Kyle Bossman, they are puzzle games. I'll give you Puzzle Adventure, okay. But really addictive or addicting, because they're both officially words, gameplay. South Park, because I love that they finally nailed the writing in a comedy game, and it was a really good adaptation of a licensed thing. So kudos to those guys for making an amazing game. And Mario Kart 8, because that multiplayer is phenomenal. Just cannot play enough Mario Kart 8 with people, and the DLC.
Yeah, it's like after Shadow of Mordor and South Park, like we can't really joke about licensed stuff anymore. Like it's not like, oh yeah, it's just clearly going to be bad. It's like, no, you can do it.
If you put the effort into it, if you put the effort in it, you can certainly do it. Just want to put the time and money into it and get the talent to do it.
Trey won Best Performance at the Game Awards. He had a good year.
And he made fun of Kevin Spacey for it. Yeah, it had to have fun. So almost done here. Top 5 games in 2014 I was supposed to care about, but I didn't. And they got clever names. So first up is Titanfall. We aren't Call of Duty. Seriously, guys, we aren't Call of Duty edition. Destiny Identity Crisis edition.
We aren't Halo.
That's right. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Hey, I'm still cool. No, seriously, listen, we're still here edition. Assassin's Creed Unity, the Open Beta edition. And Halo, the matchmaking. Wow, I always get this wrong. Halo, the matchmaking still doesn't work edition.
Did you play South Park on PC?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so PC games and Nintendo games. That was the two. PC and Nintendo were the winners of 2014.
And PS3, PlayStation 3, and older
And PlayStation
system.
3.
So I do have
That was all that was happening this year.
I had 3 most disappointing games of 2014. So these are games I wanted to like, and they just ended up not being too good. So first up, in third place, was Tales of Xillia 2, because it was supposed to be better than the original edition. We had Ground Zeroes. It was a demo, I told you so edition. And sadly, in first place, Legend of Korra. Somebody impersonated Platinum Games, because Platinum Games didn't make that game. And screw you, Activision edition.
They made it on a dare.
Yes.
They made it. They went hands tied. They had like their hands tied behind their back. They were on like a reality show where you make games, and that's the best they could do in like the allotted time.
I was upset.
That was That was a very fantastic performance there. Can we talk about games now?
Sure.
Or anything? Well, first of all, it's officially Titus. Is that like the consensus now? Because I remember when I did the Final Fantasy Retro, I called him Titus because I was doing a ton of research on where these names came from, and I was like, oh, it's the Okinawan name for the water and the moon, right? Yuna's the moon, and Titus is.
Yes. So I mean, it's Titus. They keep saying Titus and stuff. So that's kind of like a joke between like the name is supposed to be like Tide because it's a water theme. And
right.
So Titus, like why the hell is it not called Titus? Just playing on that, like the fans still are like it's Titus. Why does Japan keep insisting it's Titus? It's Titus. It's Titus. So it's when you say it, it's supposed to be Titus, but
I'm of the belief that that in the U.S. we're allowed to have our own pronunciations of things. Because like honestly, we should call him Corrado. Like we should call Cloud. Isn't it Colorado? Isn't that like if you're actually phonetic? Because it's not cloud. Like Japanese, some people call it cloud because you can't have a hard consonant at the end of a word, or at the end of a sentence, right? It's got to like I'm not Jones in Japan. I'm Jonesa. You know, like because you gotta.
Cloud's a cool name.
So if it's cool, then that totally negates all the rules.
But at least Square Enix has officially embraced, the U.S. part of it has embraced, or English, that it's Aerith. Because all kind of like current descriptions of her are now say Aerith. So they ditched Aeris because that was a mistake.
But it's like I changed it in a countdown we recently did because it's tough because we were actually referencing the 90s release of 7. So it's like if we're showing gameplay and you literally says Aeris on the screen, that it's like I'm not talking about the character at large that appears in Advent Children and all, you know, it's like I'm literally just talking about like this person you're looking at in this one game.
Yeah, but I think on the most like technical like anal level, if you just be like, if you're strictly referring to it within like the context where it actually was called that, by all means you're correct. So saying Final Fantasy 7, it's Aeris. It says Aeris in here. I don't care what you say. It says Aeris in here. So.
Right. Good. Just because we got that cleared up. So yeah, so you definitely have very specific opinions. So that wasn't like the Damiani Awards. That was definitively what. And all those subtitles. I watched a lot of trailers for these projects, and I never saw those interesting subtitles that they added to them.
Yeah.
Those are very creative.
These are the official internet awards.
So. So it seems like you have a very deliberate focus when you approached all of the games that you wanted to cover or had anticipations for in 2014. Do you feel that if you're moving away from California and you're going to be in your Damiani cave, do you think it's going to get even more focused? Do you think like when we get into Game of the Year deliberations and you find out what games we're talking about, it's like, well, I've never heard of that game. It's like, well, yeah, because it's the game we're all talking about, Dom. So you're
I think
playing 14 all day and.
No, I think I'll have more of an avenue to play more games like that that I want to, because I'll have like, hey, like today, I'm going to spend today, a few games came out this week. I'm not reviewing them, but I'm going to spend today playing through these 2-3 games a little bit, so I at least played some of them. I'm going to be more conscious about working that into the schedule that, hey, time to spend a day playing games, so you can actually, intelligently talk about these games with other people when you need to, which is kind of part of your job. So that's going to be like a focused effort. So I'm still going to like want to review and focus on the games that I generally have an interest on, so I feel like I could play through them and have a better understanding so I can give a more thorough review. But games might be outside the Damiani box. I hate referring to myself in the third person, by the way. I want to give those a try because some of the best experience you have is the ones you don't know about or have no idea that you're going to like.
Speaking of games I don't know about, I still don't own a Wii U. Am I a bad editor-in-chief? Damiani, do you think I've significantly missed out?
No, because you have access to one at work.
But I haven't even played that much at work. I still,
I think if you haven't played Mario Kart and you haven't played any of the Mario, like Super Mario 3D World from last year, if you haven't played that at least, I think you kind of need to at least play those 2 games.
Okay.
And then next year, Zelda. Like, I have a feeling you're gonna buy that just for
Yeah,
Zelda. 'Cause at that
looks...
point, there's gonna be enough games out. You're
Right.
gonna be like, yeah, Zelda, let's do it.
So you like your lists. I want you to come up with, the top 5 games that I personally, knowing me, that I've missed out on Wii U, not only this last year but the years before. So in 2015, when I inevitably finally break down and buy that system, that I'll have no time to actually experience the breadth of the content available for, I'll at least know where to start. Thanks to you, Doms. And just not to get too weepy, but have a good move, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Damiani.
See
Again,
you sometime
not going
next year.
anywhere in the grand GT universe sense, because you'll still be producing tons of content. You'll still be involved. You'll still have a voice, maybe even more of a voice, because you'll be able to produce more stuff than you would regularly, having to deal with all of the nonsense and the tomfoolery that takes place on a daily basis here in the GT offices. But good luck in the move, sir. Thank you for your expert opinions about the games industry in 2014, and see you guys later.